Welcome. It's the Matic. It's the illest blerd in the land. Welcome back, Legends community, returning and new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Today's new video is something that we've all experienced in some point of our lives, starting over. All right, so today let's talk about it right now. Starting over. So, is starting over a good thing or a bad thing? I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. Yeah, it may have some negatives, right? The first start over for me was something that a lot of you guys probably would have never guessed it. Originally, my channel was supposed to have been with friends. Like, I had a couple different friends from different groups, some from high school, some from college. We were talking about actually doing something on a scale where we would do a channel. So originally my YouTube channel was not gonna be a solo channel. It was gonna be with friends. And each time I was getting let down. I don't know. I was just like, this whole group aesthetics, it's not really working for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was hard to get in touch with people because people, you know how people do. Communication, even with text messages, was a bit difficult. And then I seen, to me, like people weren't as passionate and dedicated to it. I mean, I was getting excuses. Oh man, I work a job. I do too. I'm a student and I'm working a job and I got a channel. Like, come on. Like, that's not really an excuse. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually I had this moment where I'm like, you know what? This is not getting me nowhere. I'm here with you guys. It feels like I'm the only one putting forth the commitment and effort into this thing. And then it was kind of like, yeah, this is not getting me nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I started over by just going solo. And I mean, that was the best decision for me. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Listen, it's not stressful. I ain't got to worry about when I'm going to hear from you or like, when are we going to do the actual video? You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of glad that it never got out into the video phase where I was able to do videos with those people at that time early on with my channel, because I'd have been like, So that was a start over. It was a bit of a letdown because I saw the potential in it being something dope. But then I realized, like, well, they don't see the potential. So why am I disappointed in myself? I'm disappointed in them because if they were committed like I was, we probably could have got this thing rolling where we had a decent amount of videos. And then it made me push to go further with my channel solo. There was even one person doubting me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it'll never get anywhere. The hater, you know what I'm saying? Low-key secret hater out of the people. And then eventually it did take off. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it took time, of course, but restarting was the best choice for me when it came to that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about with starting over, and this one right here is something that, hey, look, this is just my opinion. I'm speaking from my experience. For me, starting over with a friendship. So there was a friend that I eventually had to cut ties with that I had known since high school, all right? And, you know, the person brought it to my attention. The friendship wasn't quite like it used to be, you know what I'm saying? Adult friendships are not, they're harder. Well, some people make it harder with adult friendships. That's just how I really feel about it. And I tried. I really wanted the friendship to work. And then it was just like, it was getting nowhere. It was getting nowhere. They didn't want to be honest with me about things. There was still some hidden jealousy. I'm going to just say that because I took a different spiritual path that they took as well. And then there were other issues where it would start to like affect the relationship. And I'm just like, as a friend, you know, and to some point at a time, I was like, this is not getting anywhere. Yes, we're starting over, but I'm putting the effort into the friendship. I want to make things work. I want to get the friendship to where it used to be, where we are cool and everything's good. But I'm not gonna fake a friendship. I'm not gonna fake a friendship. And that's probably what they thought. They're like, oh well, he'll be all right. You know, he's gonna conform and do these things. And I'm like, nah. And I had to start over. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to move on from that chapter. It was getting me nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to keep repeating the same chapter over and over again. Like, for what? And we're not getting anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting to you where you need to be accountable for your actions and everything and just how you are as a person. And I think sometimes adult friendships can be difficult. That's just my honest take on that. Relationships. All right, so let's talk about so there was a young lady. We're just gonna call her young lady that I had an interest in. All right. And at this point in time, I brought it to her attention that I was interested in dating her romantically. You know what I'm saying? You know, and being more than friends. We have been friends for quite a while. And then we wanted to fix the friendship. We were like enemies. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We were enemies at some point. And we ended up becoming like, you know, close to being lovers. All right. And eventually things didn't work out. She found out something that was kind of weird, or why the friendship broke up in the first place, right? And she held a grudge. We were supposed to be starting over and everything. And then she kind of just, you know, cut ties with me. It was hard to reach out to her on the phone, stop answering text messages. And I'm like, well, I gotta start over, you know what I'm saying? And luckily, I'm kind of glad that the friendship ended, because people get mad over the craziest stuff sometimes, and you be like, this what you really mad about? You know what I'm saying? Like, over the weirdest stuff. I'm like, oh my God, man. You know, so, you know, I dodged a situation that probably could have been problematic anyway in the first place. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, there's only so much you can do. And starting over probably was better for me by just leaving the situation altogether. Now, the next starting over for me, and this was something that I was afraid to do at some point, you know, so I was a little nervous about it because the other names weren't working for me on YouTube, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was like, you know what? I gotta find another channel name. And I'll leave the video up for you guys to find out about the channel name. So I had a Bitch's Brother 101. That was the first one. Then I had like PCS Live, Charles S Live. I had like all these other like channel names. And I'm like, okay, these channel names are cool, but people are adding additional letters to it. And I'm like, so this is what we doing? Y'all adding additional letters, abbreviations? You know what I'm saying? More so letters and abbreviations. And then there was one day that it dawned on me. I wanted a channel name that was unique, that stood out. And I was like, oh, I got it. Realistically. I'm like, blerd. I am a blerd. I'm a black nerd, right? I'm a content creator. Matic came from the Nas album, you know what I'm saying? And then Illmatic, you know what I'm saying? So I just threw the blerd within there, and boom, that name took off. It actually helped my channel get more exposure when you have a unique channel name. Were there people that hated it? The new channel name start over? Yeah. I lost subscribers because of it. Believe it or not, I was like, what? Over a channel name start over? I kid you not, yo. Some of these people was mad. Oh, you changed the name? Oh, like that name. You know, and people, some of them unsubscribed. Realistically, they unsubscribed. They weren't playing. They're like, we want the old name back. No, we ain't getting the old name back. Another start over. And I'm taking it back to my actual college days. Oh my God, I'm taking it back, yo. Was a paper that I did in college. My American history professor was not happy with my first version of my actual paper. It was on somebody for Black History Month. Huey Newton. Aha, I remember it now. Huey Newton. I did a paper on him. I turned in the paper because it was a homework assignment for the class and also my final towards the remaining part of that class. And the professor said, he pulled me over to the side, said we need to talk after class. He had let me know that he did not like the direction my paper was going in, and I had to completely start over, meaning that, okay, don't get me wrong, I work a regular job at the time. I'm in college, and you mean to tell me I got to start this paper over and get it together, meaning that if this paper is not what he wants, it is very likely, because I actually was passing his class, and that final was a big chunk of my grade, I probably would have failed if I did not follow the instructions that my professor had mentioned to me for American history, all right? So, no, not American history, excuse me, African American history. Take that back. African American history. So I did the paper over again like he asked. I was tired, exhausted, a little bit of everything, but I got the paper done. I passed the class. All right. And I had to start over because the paper wasn't the way he wanted it to be. Had to go find some more additional information on the person I did the actual paper on. But in the long run, it worked out. Now, the next thing was starting over. A lot of you guys know that I do collaboration on YouTube quite a bit. And so for me, I had to actually take a hiatus. So last year, I took a hiatus, started in later part of December of 2024 to take a break from doing collaborations. Don't get me wrong, I love doing collaborations on YouTube, but at the time, I was starting to get exhausted with it. My last two collaborations, shouts out to both of these guys, Chiro TV and Master Music, also known as TJ the Gamer, were the last two people. There were people when I was trying to take this break, let's do something together. No, you don't understand. I'm trying to get away from that right now. Because I already was kind of going through some things behind the scene, and I didn't want it to ooze over into my collaborations where I'm kind of being a negative Patty. I say a negative Patty, but it's the truth. I did not want that to interfere because these people I collaborate with, I built connections with, right? And I didn't want that to affect that. But also I needed time to kind of process of what went wrong with another situation too. And eventually I realized, well, there's nothing I can do and I got to move forward. I have to start over. Yes, I'm back doing collaborations on YouTube this month. Got one coming up. The other thing that I want to do again, I got to start over. I got to find somebody else that wants to be a co-host on my channel. This time, a YouTuber officially. You're not a YouTuber, I'm sorry. I'm not getting into this not being a YouTuber this time around. I look back at that too. I'm like, man, maybe if it a YouTuber, then that's different. But I will eventually, when I find someone that wants to do it, I'll go back into doing a collaboration type of podcast segment. Another thing was starting over. Say, for instance, you're working at a job, right? And this is just an example, good example, by the way. And you eventually apply for other jobs, like some people do at jobs. Not everybody does this, depending on the type of person you are. Maybe you want to go up the corporate ladder or whatever particular job you're at. And you go to a different department. So you're starting over to learn new skills for the job that you apply for online. You know what I'm saying? Or walk-in interview, whichever, or right? And learning how to do things that are a part of your job duty within that work environment that you're in. Um, yeah, yeah, that's another one. But I want to let people know, it's never too late to start over. I want to let you guys know that right now. I've done it quite a bit with YouTube, as you can see. Even in other areas of your life, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a friendship or a relationship, but just make sure that they are willing to put forth the effort, the accountability, and the commitment to it. Like I said, for me, it was school, at some point college. Sometimes it could be a job setting as well. But like I said, just don't put no crazy limitations on, you know what I'm saying, starting over. It's never too late to start over. Some people do it later on. I actually had an older cousin that eventually graduated from a university. Yes, he was older, but he got it done. You know what I'm saying? So anything is achievable. Just don't put no silly limitation on what you can't do. But it is a blur. Little guys, you tell me in the comments, what is something that you started over with in your life? It could be, like I said, YouTube. It could be a romance. It could be a friendship. It could be a project. It could be a new job that you applied for. You tell me in the comments, guys. Thank you so much for commenting, guys, liking, subscribing, also sharing. Also, I want to let you guys know, don't forget to hit that bell. I see a lot of us out there that are legends. But y'all not hitting that bell, and we supporting one another. Let's get this going. But thanks to my new subscribers. Thank you so much for being new subscribers to the channel. And also thanks to the returning subscribers that's been with me for quite a while. I appreciate you guys. It is the hardest working blerd on YouTube, guys, and I'm out.